So I wanted to play some classic DOS games, but when I started them, that didn't look like what I remember from the day at all. I mean, everything looks fine, the pixel art is clear, but it's not like on the CRT, right? So I got one for $2 for Samsung CRT. That's pretty cheap. It has some issues with color, but once it's heat up, it's fine. But whenever I started the game, what I noticed, there's still a problem. It still feels like it's upscaled somehow. The lines aren't clear. So I looked into the options, and yeah, what you see here, it tries to upscale the internal resolution to 220 by 768, and that's done by the PC itself. So the modern graphics card doesn't want you to run your CRT in a lower resolutions because it just doesn't make any sense. It's upscaling to the base resolution of this monitor. Best you can do is to force it to a specific resolution. In theory, yeah, it runs this, although it doesn't care to admit. But either way, it's something weird is going on because it doesn't recognize this resolution as it should. And you will see those weird lines at the top. So there is some kind of weird scaling done by the graphics card. So it doesn't actually work as it should. And if you try to run something like a text adventure, it does this while scaling down, but it should run at 720 by, I think, 350 or 400 native resolution. And it kind of looks crazy because it should be stretched to the full screen. Instead, this is what you get. So I've looked into the prices of actual retro PCs, and they were crazy. Let me just tell you that. Absolutely nothing that I would recommend to anyone. So I thought to myself that I need a better solution for this. Since the modern PC cannot do it,
oh, you gods!
My project is ruined. But what if I were to make a deal with a clown and purchase an IBM clone from a fast food restaurant and disguise it as my own retro machine? Delightfully devilish panda. And here we have it. It's a clown approved Itona. Probably from a restaurant you never heard of. There's some kind of clown going around, but anyway. It's a model. Here it is. TC7521d. That's probably a submodel or whatever. Anyway, it is a thin client. It was made to be as compatible as possible. If we remove the casing here, I can show you around a little bit more. It has power button, LED, 2 front USB ports, and taking a look at the back, it has a power in, pass-through, audio jacks with a microphone. Actually, I will talk a little bit about this audio jack because it is SoundBlaster compatible and it is capable of outputting signal. It has the expected VGA port for the monitor, 2 serial ports, so you can actually plug your old devices here. OLPT port, that's the same thing. Covox maybe compatible. You have 2 PS2, so keyboard mouse, to use your old keyboard and mouse, DVI, even DisplayPort, another 4 USB ports and an Ethernet jack. And this is very convenient because I have my keyboard and mouse wireless receiver adapter that is compatible to run under DOS, and it actually works as normally connected. So it interprets the USB signal of keyboard and mouse, and you can use it under DOS as a PS2 keyboard and mouse. And I use also this USB Wi-Fi for Windows 7 because it's all that this can run. It came with Windows 7 embedded. As you can see, there's not much inside, but you have your built-in PC speaker. Actually, that's a type of you would get on a laptop. Power supply, it probably gives 12 and 5 volts. You can expect that. 2 gigs of RAM. This is a CPU and GPU radiator. It doesn't have any fans, so that's pretty cool. because all kinds of PCs were making all kinds of noises. This is probably hard drive, only 32 gigs. I expect it to be eMMC type of deal. Nothing much to write home about. 2 SATA ports, so you can actually connect some external stuff. This is, if I understood correctly, PCI, but very tiny. The mini PCI, and that's a proper PCI, but you wouldn't be able to fit any cards here. I think at least that's the connector here. I'm pretty sure this is output for a floppy disk power, but yeah, where would you connect it? And this is for fan, if it would have one. And there's not much else, to be honest. Looking around, it doesn't do anything much. It is made as compatible as possible with the old stuff, because it tries to emulate whatever it can. So yeah, my USB keyboard actually works under DOS without any drivers necessary. So that's pretty cool. So let's start it. Let's connect it up to my monitor and run it. And there's our beep. What I did to this PC, actually I made one modification. I replaced the cables on a pass-through, so it can power this monitor without any issues, because normally it was made, it was made basically for LCDs at the time even. And what I did here, if you can see, I installed Windows 7 as it came originally. At least this unit, normally these were shipped with XP embedded. This one had 7 embedded, so I did a reinstall. But that's just to get games from the network, to use the Wi-Fi basically. But what we're interested in is DOS, and you can already see that this is this is normal original resolutions. In the MS-DOS menu, you already are able to see how the lines are actually there finally. So it's not any kind of emulation, it's a proper proper lines. Here is a proper DOS 6.22 menu. This is actually what I did, because I had a bunch of issues running all those games under real DOS. This is proper 6.22. So I had to make a boot for different memory manager setups. Let's go with all bells and whistles. Start us with the modern memory management and SoundBlaster. And if I just, I can even do mouse, and you can see here that it runs Windows 3.1 just fine. It's not perfectly compatible, but it's good enough. You know, everything works more or less fine, and it's exactly like it was back in the day. Sorry about the line that is going on here. I'll try my best to set everything up, but if you take a peek in the menu, that's a proper resolution. This is actually recognized properly by the monitor itself. It's exactly what I was looking for. So going with all bells and whistles, let's start something really familiar. And as you can see here, proper SoundBlaster emulation somehow works really well with this VIA PC. They made everything, including mainboard and chipsets, so it works just fine. Let's move forward. And this is going through the built-in PC speaker and this tiny case. The thing about SoundBlaster here is that you can hear it via the jack at the back, but if you run anything that has sound from the PC speaker, you won't be able to hear it from the jack. You have to hear it directly from the PC itself. Yeah, let's switch it up to SoundBlaster. Much better. Much more pleasant. And everything actually looks exactly like it should. So let me zoom up again a little bit. This is a proper resolution. You can actually see all the lines and exactly everything. Yeah, it looks really good in real life too. So would I actually recommend this? No, don't do this. Yeah, I had some fun. This was a fun project. The text adventures looks amazing, but if you just forget over time how much hassle were those games. And a great example is Ken 4E. As you saw before, I started this with a modern memory management and installed the SoundBlaster driver, and that worked fine. But yeah, that's it. You have to reboot, and even alt control delete doesn't work, so you have to hard reboot the PC. And then, started without the memory management. It somehow has a problem because it is a 2 GB system limited to 1.5 GB, since I purposely set the graphics memory to 0.5 GB to limit it as much as possible. So under these circumstances, you actually need to start it with a 640K without any drivers, because SoundBlaster driver isn't supported if you don't have the high mem. And this works perfectly now, but there is no SoundBlaster yet, so you have to be happy with a PC speaker. And you have those graphical glitches, but everything like that happened back in the day too. It was crazy. You could get a game and it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't. That was it. You get a game and for whatever reason there was a compatibility issue with your specific setup. And as a perfect example of that, I have Arena, that's Elder Scrolls, and if I start it, not enough EMS, fair enough. If I put it into a different memory management, again, reboot, it takes time, you need to wait until it boots. This is your processor 1.2 Eden, I think it's a single core. So it's a beefy machine for those gaming, I can tell you that. So booting into a more common memory management that doesn't work exactly like it should. And you try to start it, and that's it. It just hangs. There is no error, nothing going on, no sound. You can restart. And if you can, that happened a lot back in the day, and if you can deal with anything like DosBox Pure, I actually recommend that. So you don't have to type in all the commands, worry about the setup, worry about the drivers under DOS and all kinds of stuff that will go wrong eventually. But if you want to have a proper classic experience, this may be the right way to do it on a budget, since the monitor, well, it depends where you look. This one was $2, but it can be anything from 0 to 100, depending on the model you're looking for. I actually recommend Sony, Samsung, and name brands, maybe LG. And it really depends what kind of PC you get. There's a bunch of thin clients that doesn't have any, that already has a built-in storage. You don't have to worry about emulation. There are actually DOS drivers for stuff like that. Like for mine, I actually find out later on that it has a proper SoundBlaster driver, so I'm very happy with that. But that's a lot of hassle for not really great games, because DOS isn't really known for great games. DOS is, it's just something very nostalgic, right? So I don't think that that's something you probably want to have. If you don't suffer too much from nostalgia, I guess running a VM with DOS or using DosBox Pure, it's a much better choice, since even memory management is a hassle. I'll try to put my configs and outtakes about with the menus, so other people can use it if they find this video about Itona specifically that could be potentially helpful. I guess that's it, but it was fun. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being with me on this trip. It's not amazing, but still, it was a bunch of fun. It was fun reminiscing, and I still have very cool games, at least for people like me that enjoyed that back in the day. So thank you so much for watching, and see you guys next time.